Well, hello there, everyone. It is so great to be with you here on the Inspirations for Your Life show. Thanks so much for popping in. If this is your very first time here, I want to say thank you and I want to say the words welcome. If you've been here one time, five times, 10, 100, or maybe even more, I'd like to say not only that, but I'd like to say thank you, welcome, and of course, the words, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, because I really do appreciate those that enjoy the quality and content of my show. All right, guys, so let's kick this off. All right. If you have not gotten that water or that drink or other beverage or snack, go run and get that now. And don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, of course, inspiring creations. So, again, welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This whole week from Saturday to Friday is about the power of steady trust, building stability in uncertain times. The daily topic for today, which, by the way, is, in case you didn't know, yes, today is Tuesday. It's July 7th, 2026. Series 5, Show 28, Episode number 4, How Waiting is Part of the Process. So let's kick this off. Are you ready? I know I am. Welcome, everyone, to Inspirations for Your Life. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, of course, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student at Montclair State University, passionate lifelong learner, and now so grateful to be a published author. Thank you once again for joining me for another amazing episode of Inspirations for Your Life, where I explore practical ideas that help us become stronger, wiser, and more intentional every day. This week's master topic is the power of steady trust, building stability in uncertain times. And I know that can be hard for a lot of people to actually understand. Today's episode is how waiting is part of the process. And I know none of us like to wait, whether that's in business, relationships, but sometimes a little waiting is good. And the most important thing, when we wait is we have that certain spirit, right? I think that's important. Waiting is one of the hardest parts of any journey. We naturally want answers, progress, and results as quickly as possible, but sometimes we're let down. Yet some of life's greatest growth happens during the season when it feels like nothing is changing. Waiting is not empty time, it is preparation time. It is during these quiet moments that our character is strengthened, our perspective becomes clearer, and our foundation grows deeper. Today, I'm going to explore 30 reminders that waiting is never wasted when you continue trusting the process. I think that's something that a lot of people they don't get, they don't understand. But I want to tell you that that is the key of life. I was doing a signing for somebody actually tonight, and for my book, Drain to Driven, a friend of the family's. And I asked them how you want me to sign it. And then after I did that, because normally my basic signing is just, stay driven, John C. Morley, author, Drain to Driven. And I put, their name, of course, at the top. But in a special signing, I write a few extra sentences. Number one, waiting is not an activity. It is development. It is part of the process. Just because you cannot see visible progress does not mean progress has stopped, okay? Many of life's greatest, let's say, transformations happen beneath the surface long before they ever become visible to the naked eye. Number two, guys, growth continues even when progress is invisible. So this friend tonight said to me, John, you know what the secret of life is? I said, I love to hear secrets of life. They said, showing up. I said, well, that's 95% of it. But we have to show up with intention. We can't just show up to show up. Personal growth often begins internally before it appears externally. Your mindset, patience, and character may be changing even when your circumstances look exactly the same. I know it's hard for a lot of people. Delays or preparation phases that we all have to go through. A delay is often preparing you for something that requires greater wisdom or maturity. Instead of asking why things are taking longer, ask what the season is teaching you. Or, are you doing this in a way that's respectful? Are you doing this in a manner that is cultivating you, making you become better, and helping other people become better? Number four, guys, patience builds emotional strength. Patience teaches you how to remain calm without demanding. I think that's an important thing. It's not about demanding immediate results. Emotional strength grows every time you choose perseverance over frustration. That's an important thing to note, really important to note. I know a lot of people get frustrated. Why isn't it happening now? And they go through this like crying mode, right? We have to be patient along the process, for our rewards will come to us when we know what we're doing and we believe in the process. Number five, guys, stillness is part of momentum building. Stillness should never be confused with failure. Sometimes slowing down provides the clarity and energy needed for your next breakthrough. Nothing is wasted in preparation time. Every lesson, conversation, setback, and challenge adds value to your future. Preparation often happens quietly before opportunity ever arrives, knocks at your door, and says, "Hey, I'm here. Can I come in?" I think you just got to have that spirit where, yes, you like adventure, you're about respect, and also you're about the fact that you're resilient. Maybe things didn't go the way you want, but I think when you let people know that this is who you are, I always tell people you're going to like me, you're going to love me, or hate me, and things are going to move on, right? Number seven, waiting develops resilience. Resilience grows when you continue believing in things even without immediate evidence. Every season of waiting strengthens your ability to endure future challenges. That's important, all right? That's not just something I'm saying now. It's something we have to fully believe and embody. Number eight, guys, pressure creates refinement. Like the diamond I was talking about, right? They could take millions of years, not like what they do in a lab in a few weeks and making a zirconia. Pressure has a way of exposing weakness while developing strengths. Now, there's good types of, I should say, pressure, and there's bad types. A good type of pressure is when you're doing something for the greater good of all concerned. Or maybe you're trying to get somebody to budge or to do something that, again, is with the greatest intentions. It's never to harm anybody. Sometimes people just need a little nudge, myself included. Pressure has a way of exposing weakness while developing strengths, and difficult seasons, they often refine your character more than comfortable ones ever could. I said that success doesn't happen when we're comfortable. It happens when we're uncomfortable. That goes for business, that goes for relationships. It can be scary. It can be daunting. It can be embarrassing sometimes. Number nine, time builds readiness. Opportunity alone is never enough, guys. Time allows your knowledge, your confidence, and experience to grow so you're prepared when opportunity finally arrives. And I think that's the thing. When opportunity arrives, it says, "Hey, I'm here. Let me in. I'm here. Can you let me in?" And we do, and we get that smile on our face. Yes, this worked. Or yes, I achieved it. Number 10, slow progress is still progress. Celebrate those small victories. I don't care. Maybe you got somebody to say hello. Maybe you got somebody to be friendly. Maybe you got somebody to share something about themselves that they were having there. I think these are all very important things to understand. And I think these are really, really important thing. Do want to thank. We have somebody here that just says thanks, so I do appreciate the thanks. I just have a looks like I just have a W here. I don't have a name. I just have a thanks. So I do appreciate that. Really appreciate people that watch and love the content here. So slow progress is still progress. Not every step forward will be a dramatic one. If you expect it to be one and it's not, you're like, oh, that's all the party's about. Small improvements repeatedly, consistently often produce the greatest, longest term transformation, like compound interest of bank accounts. What they bring you in one day is like nothing. What they bring you over time, when you believe in it, when you follow the process, is immense. It's exponential results. Number 11, waiting removes impulsive decisions. Okay. Time allows emotion to settle, so wisdom can lead your choices. Many poor decisions are avoided simply because you were willing to wait. And that's a really important thing for you to know and for other people to know. Patience is something that we all have and we need to develop. But then there's the point of having patience, and then there's the point of expectations, and there's a point of communicating. Communication should be there all the time. Patience will strengthen your discipline, okay? Patience teaches you to stay committed even when Rewards are delayed or they seem like they're not coming. The ability to continue doing the right thing builds remarkable discipline over time. Number 13, guys, are you ready for number 13? Are you sure you can handle number 13? I know you can. Number 13 is this. Growth is happening beneath the surface right now, whether you're aware of it or not. You see, when you become aware of things, you get to tap into that energy. You get to tap into that potential in your life. These things are always happening. I've used the example of what color car do you drive? Well, I drive a white car, okay, a white SUV. And if I asked you, are there a lot of white SUVs on the road? If you're asking me that question, I'd say yes. Maybe you drive a red SUV or a red truck or a red whatever or a blue something. And you say, no, John, there aren't a lot of white trucks on the road, white SUVs, but there are a lot of red blah, blah, blah of your car, right? Because see, that's what your RAS is focusing on, your reticular acting system. So number 13, growth is happening beneath the surface. If we don't bother to pay attention to it, it's still going to be there, but we're not going to be able to tap into its energy. Like roots growing beneath a tree, much of your development happens where nobody else can see it. Strong foundations are almost always invisible at first. Like the iceberg, there's so much going on beneath an iceberg, right? Let's think about that for a moment, okay? So what goes on beneath an iceberg? Does anybody know what goes on beneath the iceberg? So a lot. Beneath the iceberg lies a surprisingly dynamic world. Submerged ice often forms intricate underwater caves and deep blue crevices where young fish, such as ice fish, hide from predators. Additionally, melting ice continually releases iron into the water, triggering blooms of phytoplankton that sustain busting food web of krill, penguins, and whales. So that's a very important thing. So just because we don't see it on the surface doesn't mean it's not doing anything, right? Number 14, silence often hides development. Quiet seasons are rarely empty seasons. They often become the environment where your greatest ideas, strongest habits, and deepest personal growth, they begin. Waiting builds clarity. Time has a remarkable way of helping us see situations more clearly. Waiting often removes confusion and replaces it with wisdom, allowing us to make better decisions with greater confidence. Number 16, guys, timing cannot be forced. If two people are agreeing on something and the time is moving like fast, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's mutual. Business, friendship, relationships, etc. Timing needs to be something that both people believe in, or something that you and the other end believes in if it's something business. Timing cannot be forced and never should be. Every meaningful achievement has its own season. Trying to force results before you're ready often creates frustration instead of progress, and it gets you to, well, sometimes not only be depressed, it can get you into burnout. Trust that preparation and opportunity will meet at the right divine time, and let patience replace pressure. See, when we can let patience replace pressure, and I talk about this in my book, by the way, we can become anew just by our thought. See, what we think about, we bring about. Number 17, progress is not always visible. Sorry, guys. Some of the most important growth cannot be measured day by day. Sorry. Your mindset, wisdom, confidence, and resilience are developing even when your circumstances seem, well, hopeless, unchanged. Invisible progress is still real progress, so we still need to celebrate it, even if it's minor. Number 18, guys, delay improves long-term outcomes. I know that sounds hard for people to believe, but sometimes there's a reason why a delay happens. A reason why maybe the first time you connected, whether it's friendship, it's business, maybe it wasn't meant to happen then, but then it rebuds later, right? So delay improves outcomes as long as we believe in it. Immediate results are not always the best results. Delays often provide additional experience, better perspective, and stronger preparation because, now that we're seeing something the second time around, it's like, hey, wait a minute, I get this now. Looking back, many of life's greatest blessings arrive at exactly the right time. I know we kick ourselves, myself included, like, hey, why didn't I see that the first time? Why was that so different? Try to give yourself some slack. I know I'm a perfect one to talk, but we need to cut ourselves some slack. We need to cut other people some slack. Number 19, patience builds emotional control. patience builds emotional control. And I think, that's the most important thing to understand. And it looks like got a message in for one of our control people here. I appreciate that. It looks like we did get a name back from the person that said thanks, so I do appreciate that. Looks like Ryan, thank you so much for visiting us again yesterday and today. We really do appreciate your support in the show. Number 19, patience builds emotional control. Learning to wait without becoming discouraged strengthens emotional maturity. Instead of reacting impulsively, you begin responding with wisdom and confidence. Emotional control becomes one of your greatest strengths. See, waiting in the 20 strengthens focus. I know none of us want to wait, whether it's for the fortune, whether it's for a relationship, or whether it's for even just acquiring knowledge. I know so many times at school, it's like, I want to get this, I want to get all this knowledge, right? And I'm like, it's going to come to me. The knowledge is going to come to me in its time. I'm going to enjoy this course. I'm going to enjoy that course. And the funny thing I could tell you is these mini epiphanies happen in your life. It could happen again for a lot of things, people, knowledge. And when you just say, all right, I'm going to learn this at whatever pace it takes, but when you're conscious about doing it, right? Not just saying, hey, I hope it happens. You got to take a little effort. So the waiting makes it all worthwhile. When progress slows, you have an opportunity to evaluate what truly matters. Waiting removes unnecessary distractions. It helps you reconnect with your purpose. See, focus grows when you stop chasing everything at once. I'm guilty of this before. I want to chase everything. You can't chase everything. You can have your purposes. You can have your goals. But stay focused on a couple things. And then when those things start to boil on the stove, great. You can simmer them down, let them cook at the right pace, and then put something else on the stove. But don't try to put 8 pots on the stove. Let's get them all to a nice boil, and then we'll all bring them down so they're all boiling equally and then without bubbling over. Number 21, stillness prepares action. Stillness is never the absence of movement. It is often the preparation that makes future action more effective. Quiet seasons allow your mind to rest, your vision to sharpen, and your energy to renew before your next opportunity arrives. Number 22, time reveals direction. Answers are not always immediate, guys. Sometimes direction becomes clearer only after you've gained additional experience and perspective. And people beat themselves up. I was one, I did this, right? Because I've learned from my mistakes. And I think it's okay to learn from them, but you have to not do the same thing over and again. As Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. What is that, guys? You know this. I've said this many times before. Insanity. So why are we doing it? Time has a way of revealing what hurried decisions often overlook. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to embrace, but again, it's a spirit of living. Number 23. We learned a lot about the diamonds in millions of years, right? Pressure produces growth. We said pressure was bad. I said a certain kind of pressure a while was bad. Not all pressure is bad. We have pressure cookers. We have pressure to make diamonds over billions of years, right? We have pressure in the ocean to make sea glass. We have pressure for certain presses that'll help make metal and different types of alloys, right? We have pressures that can take different types of ABS plastic and other types of material from 3D printers and mold them into tanks. So some pressure is good. It's controlled pressure. It has to be regulated. Pressure can either discourage you or develop you. If it's too much, well, it's a lot. What happens if I took a faucet, okay, and the faucet is just very light and you're just drinking from the hose? No big deal, right? What happens if I have a fire, let's say a hose, and we crank that thing up full blast, right? You put that thing in your mouth, you're probably going to hurt yourself because the water's going to be too violent for you. So we got to have a balance, right? When approached with the right mindset, it becomes one of life's greatest teachers. Every challenge strengthens abilities you didn't know you possessed. Now, I wouldn't agree with you on this before the show many years ago, but I've learned every day is another lesson for me. And I love life so much. First thing I do when I get up in the morning is I'm so grateful to be alive, thanking our Creator. Number 24, waiting builds endurance. I know waiting frustrates you guys, like the people with the FIFA Cup. When's he going to kick the goal? When's it going to happen? I know. right? Endurance is the ability to continue when the finish line is still far away, whether we're talking about soccer, whether we're talking about baseball, whether we're talking about swimming, whether we're talking about life or any kind of goals. Endurance is the ability to continue. There was a great movie on, it's called Facing the Giants. And without getting into it too deep, the movie talks about this one kid. His name is Brock. And Brock's like the captain of the team. And Brock is kind of acting a little cocky and all, and kind of like, he's just going to do what he wants to do. And he's kind of leading the team, but he's kind of not leading the team. He's hurting the team because he's only leading best for his own ego. That's not a captain. So the coach tried to talk to him and didn't go anywhere. So one day at practice, he says, Brock, you, Jeremy. He goes, we in trouble? We'll see. Not yet. He goes, Brock, down your knees. Am I in trouble? Not yet. And then Jeremy, I want you on his back. On my back? Yeah, on your back. And now I want you to put this blindfold on, Brock. What? That's right. You're going to do the death crawl, but this time you're going to do it blindfolded. So he crawls and crawls and crawls. And he's like, am I done yet? He's like, I want you to go to 50. He keeps going. He starts the 50. He's like, 10, 10. I was like, a little more, Brock, a little more. Finally, he's going and going. He keeps pushing. He's like, I don't have any more of me. I can't do it anymore. He's like, just a few more steps. I got to be at the 50. He's like, Brock, take off your blindfold. It's like, you're in the end zone. See, I put that blindfold on you because I didn't want you to stop and give up on yourself before you actually would succeed. And Jeremy's like, coach. And he's like, see, and you did it with Jeremy on your back, who weighs 100 pounds. And he keeps going, coach. He's like, stop, Jeremy. He's like, I'm trying to talk. He's like, but coach. He's like, what, Jeremy? What is it? Coach, I weigh 150. He's like, oh my. So that teaches us a very important point. Many of us will give up when our eyes are open. When we have blind faith it's going to happen, we keep going. We trust in it. Every season of waiting strengthens your commitment and teaches you how to remain faithful to your goals. That's a key to success, guys. Endurance creates lasting success. Number 25. Delay sharpens your awareness. I've talked about how important awareness is. I talk about in my book, right? Awareness is the key that's helped me become successful. Awareness helped me embrace things like slowing down the minutes, the hours, the days, because I learned how to become aware of every moment that's in my life. That has been so priceless. When life slows down, you begin noticing opportunities, lessons, and relationships that constant busyness often hide. Waiting helps you become more aware of the growth happening around and within you. Awareness creates wisdom. That's important, guys. Number 26. Our patience improves our judgment. Quick decisions often satisfy emotions, while patient decisions usually produce better outcomes. Taking time allows you to gather information, consider your options, and respond with greater confidence. Wisdom often grows at the pace of patience. Wisdom grows at the speed and pace of patience. Have more patience, you'll see your wisdom's going to accelerate. That happened in my master's studies. When I became less judgmental of myself, why am I not learning this right away? And I just said, I'm going to do my very best. My very best. That's what coach kept saying on him. He said, I don't know if I can do this. I don't care. He's like, I just want you to give me your very best, your very best. What if I can't do it? I don't care. Just give me your very best. And that's all I'm going to ask. And that's all I ask myself. Give my very best. Even if it doesn't finish it, just give my very best. And 99% of the time, my very best does more than I ever expected. Preparation happens in silence, guys. Most people only celebrate the visible success. Few ever see the quiet preparation that made that success possible. Your private disciplines, daily habits, and unseen effort are preparing you for future opportunities that others will recognize after it arrives. Tell a quick story about a dog. So there's a dog, friend of mine, many years back in high school. I was over the person's house and they had this dog. And I'm there and I'm like, the dog opens the door and he walks out. I said, let's say he's Mike. His name was Mike. That's not his name, but Mike, what a smart dog. He said, you think so, huh? Yeah, your dog just walked up to the front door, grabbed the knob, opened it, and went out. He goes, well, you wouldn't think he was such a smart dog if you were here a week ago. Well, what happened a week ago? Oh, man, he was just clawing at the door and how to turn the lock and how to turn the bottom thing. He was at it for hours on end and barking. And what happened? A few days later, he figured out how to open the door. That's a pretty smart dog. You think so? Yeah, he learned by figuring out what didn't work and he adjusted. That's what we need to do in our lives. Number 28, waiting will build confidence. Just be patient about it. Each season you successfully navigate reminds you that you can handle uncertainty. Confidence grows because you experienced difficult moments before and discovered that you were stronger than you realized. Trust in yourself increases every time you refuse to give up. That's important. Number 29. Time is part of transformation. Real transformation cannot be rushed, just as 3 takes people to understand that trees can take years to mature. Meaningful personal growth develops one season, one day at a time. Allow yourself the time necessary to become the person you're capable of becoming. Don't be so hard on yourself. I know I'm one to talk, but I've learned to lighten up a little bit and start to go with the flow more. That was a big epiphany for me after writing the book, but now going around and talking about it, I relive this private story that I love sharing with people, but it actually helps me become even better every time I tell it and helps others too. Number 30, delay is not denial. It is development, just like we learned with that dog. Pretty powerful dog, right? Perhaps the greatest lesson of today's episode is this. A delay does not mean your dream has disappeared. It may simply mean you're still being prepared for it. Continue trusting the process because what feels like waiting today may become the very reason you're ready tomorrow. In closing today, as we conclude today's episode, remember that waiting is not your enemy. It is often your greatest teacher. Every season of preparation is strengthening your character, sharpening your judgment, and developing the resilience you'll need for the opportunities ahead. Don't measure your life only by visible progress. Measure it by the person you're becoming while you continue showing up with patience. Discipline and hope, that's the key. The greatest transformations often happen quietly before anyone else can ever see them. Thank you so much for joining me for another amazing episode of Inspirations for Your Life. Check out more at believemeachieve.com. Have a great one, everyone, and be easy on yourself. Take care.